For a golf-mad Kiwi who's never set foot in Europe, there's one iconic town that's a must-see when heading off on your OE. And young New Zealand pro Ryan Fox didn't take the conventional route to the seaside town of St Andrews. Fox made the journey via Open Championship local qualifying, and it was well worth the toil as the 28-year-old took his first tentative swings at the home of golf, a course he'd only ever played on his PlayStation.
Just the drive in here, it's a hallowed place for golfers and a famous place for anyone, really. And you drive in and go, wow, this is impressive. And we got here Saturday afternoon and walked between the clubhouse and the grandstand on 18. And I remember going, oh, bleep. You just walk around, you see all the grandstands and you see all the history that I've heard about and seen on TV. And there's so many famous things here, the Shell Bunker, the road hole, the road bunker, the Swilcan Bridge, I mean, everything. It's just unbelievable to be here.
St Andrews Old Course is home to some of the most iconic landmarks in golf. And there to experience it every step of the way were Ryan's #1 supporters, Mum and Dad. Father Grant taking a week off Rugby World Cup preparations to experience his son's dream debut.
Oh, Steve Hansen is big on family, and these sorts of milestones. We celebrate milestones in the All Blacks, and this is a milestone for our family. And Steve said, "You better get on the plane. Don't worry about us." We had to come because this is his first major. It may be his only one. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it's his one and only, well, what better place could you be?
As soon as I got in, I rang Dad and he said, we're booking flights at the moment. My girlfriend booked flights straight away. My sister and her fiancé live in London and they're coming up. And then my girlfriend's parents were supposed to be in Thailand on a holiday and her dad goes, "Oh, stuff it, I don't want to sit on a lounger. I'd rather go to St Andrews." So, we got a house full this week and, great to have everyone over here and just cool for them to be able to experience it with me.
Ryan's first ever major week started in good company with a practice round with Lee Westwood. But things got even better when former world #1 and Masters champ Adam Scott invited Ryan out for 9 holes on Tuesday.
Just to hear him and Steve talk and how they describe shots and how they were going to play the golf course. I mean, you just can't buy that information. And he's got the best golf swing in the game, I think. And just to see that firsthand and watch him hit it's just a great experience to be inside the ropes for that and be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it's fun to be playing with Ryan. I've been following Ryan's progress this year, so he's actually had a great year and he's in great form. It's great when you can help young guys like that. He hasn't played it before, there's a lot to take in, so he's soaking up the atmosphere and giving him a bit of tips on where to go and where not to go and what you can see in the different changes when the wind blows from different directions. So no, he's soaking it all up.
And that education on the links of St Andrews continued during Wednesday's practice round.
Started off just with Kevin Streelman and he was a really nice guy, and then get down the second hole and Shane Lowry and Padraig Harrington come up and say, "Oh, can we join you for a few holes?" And then Patrick Reed comes and joins us for a few holes and then play the last one with GMAC. So yeah, all nice guys and just great experience. Padraig Harrington has given me a little bit of stick. He reckoned I hustled them and missed my first tee shot and then smacked the next one well past him and given me a bit of stick there, which was quite funny.
Ryan's world-famous in New Zealand power may now only be getting noticed by the big boys of the PGA Tour. But his ascension to the Open Championship is no surprise to those who've followed his game closely.
Great to see Ryan here. He's worked really, really hard, and it's cool to see him get to this point in his career because he's been such a big part of our development plans and all of our programs through the years. We've always known that he is going to get to this pinnacle of world golf, and it's so wonderful to see that talent realised today. And I mean, just watching him on the range yesterday, he's hitting next to Phil Mickelson, he's playing with Adam Scott, he's clearly learning a lot, soaking it all up, and what a wonderful way to spend a week learning from the very best in the world.
Well, it's great because we've had a lot of Opens go by with no New Zealanders playing. It's going to be a great experience for him. I saw his dad earlier in the day and I gave him one piece of advice to pass on to Ryan, and I said, whatever you do, just keep it out of those bunkers.
I said to him today as we're walking, just if you're feeling any heat, just slow up a bit and breathe and you'll be okay. My wife and I will probably be more nervous for him than he'll be standing on the first tee.
By the time Thursday 11 o'clock comes around, I imagine I'll be fairly nervous. So, just hopefully I can hit the widest fairway in golf.
On the tee from New Zealand, Ryan Fox.
Round 1, and a moment, a lifetime in the waiting. Ryan Fox introduced to the world by 2 icons of the Open, Ivor Robson and Peter Ellis.
Looks a good, strong lad, doesn't he? trousers full of legs.
I actually wasn't as nervous as I thought, to be honest. Yeah, pretty cool to be read out by the world-famous Ivor Robson, and got a nice chair when I got on the first tee. There seemed to be a few Kiwis up in the grandstand, and it actually wasn't as intimidating as I thought. All the big boys were off sort of an hour ahead of me, and you could see the crowds following them, and putting on the same green as Tom Watson and Ernie Els and stuff like that. But after you hit a few good shots, all of a sudden those nerves seemed to drop away, and I just started to enjoy myself out there.
Ryan opening his major account with an even par round to sit tentatively on the cut line. Round 2 and St Andrews' infamous weather wreaked havoc with the tournament and with many of the pros' scorecards. But Ryan literally weathered the storm in a round that took 26 hours to complete. Having been blown outside the cut line after 9 holes, Ryan came home heroically with an eagle and 2 birdies to exceed his goal by making the weekend at his first ever major championship.
Yeah, I don't know, words can't describe it. That's why we play sport in the end. You got to love the pressure, and I was definitely nervous out there, but a lot of people have come a fairly long way to get here, and I guess I lived up to my end of the bargain to give them a couple more days out there watching.
Oh, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, yeah, just can't believe it.
At the end of the day, this is his dream, and this is the stage he wants to be on. So he doesn't mind a bit of pressure. He actually likes being in the fight. Even if he hadn't made the cut, it was money well spent, all worthwhile. And hopefully this is only a taste of things to come. But boy, if this is as good as it gets, it's pretty good.
Ryan's Wonder Week continued at the home of golf as he got to experience the highs and lows of major championships. From a third round of 4 over to a final round played alongside the legendary Bernhard, where Ryan shot a dazzling 5 under 67. Only 4 golfers scored better than Ryan on the final day as he finished in a share of 49th place and topped the driving stats for the week, leaving Tiger Woods and Jason Day in his wake. For a Kiwi kid who'd never been to Britain, this was an OE to Europe's greatest golfing cathedral that he and his parents would never forget.
Just to have this sort of experience, playing with the guys he played with, some really big names in the world of golf, and practice rounds too. There's not only the tips about golf, but it's actually a belief that you can play on this stage. He's had a couple of players who said, you've got it, you can play on this stage. And that's gold too, to think, actually, I'm not that far away.
It's such an awesome experience, and getting to play in front of massive crowds, and you see all the guys that I've idolised and grown up on TV watching, and to be a part of it is awesome. And I guess after playing one, I'd certainly like to play a few more.